Welcome to Feared Armor. If this is your first time here, on this channel I talk about a raging battle between the forces of good and evil in the dimensional realm and how that intertwines and affects the physical world, and how you can start preparing today to deal with difficult times lying ahead. Everything I talk about on this channel comes from a book that I wrote called The Deathless War, Surviving the Final Battle Between Good and Evil. You can pick up a copy of it in the description below. So if you're looking for a place of encouragement and resolve to not only survive but also thrive in difficult times ahead, then you've come to the right place. And I invite you to hit that bell and subscribe button so that you never miss out on a new video. Currently, we're in a enemy strategies series, and tonight's strategy is going to be disinformation and lies. This one, again, should be very simple and very, very straightforward for us to understand, but it's one of the most powerful strategies that definitely our dimensional adversary has. Satan, Lucifer, this fallen angel in the dimensional realm that obviously had some intentions, whatever they were, about going against God, and then was cast out of heaven, along with a third of the angels that followed him, aligned themselves with him. This has been their MO from the beginning. Lies, lies, lies. We see this in Genesis, the first book of the Bible, where Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden, and Satan lies directly to Eve to get her to eat the apple and thereby go against what God's orders were. And that's where sin entered the world. Well, the exact same thing is happening today. And you see many, many things that we can learn in the Bible are still happening, occurring today. That's because when God set up everything, he made everything consistent from the beginning until now. So like certain things, laws of nature, laws of gravity, all of that, they all seem to be virtually the same from the start to where we're at today. Well, in this dimensional battle that's raging between the forces of good and evil, all of those parameters still seem to be the same as well, right? Satan, Lucifer, these fallen angels, these nefarious dimensional beings that we are attacked by on our dimensional form on a daily basis, say lies to us over and over and over again. And in the physical world, humans lie on a consistent basis, right? This is just something that we are seem to be predisposed to do. And maybe it's a white lie, you don't want to hurt someone's feelings, whatever it is. Lies are just so prevalent. Disinformation, it's everywhere. Gone are the days back when I was younger and we would have news reporters such as Walter Cronkite, somebody that you could trust. Now, whether everything he told us was on board, above board, and it was something that we could actually trust, well, that's, I don't know that, and I don't think it makes a difference. The point is that reporting just used to be just tell the facts, and then you'd have an op-ed page, an opinion page, that would talk about maybe like one side or the other of things. So people, if they wanted to, kind of get some of the reporting out of a specific event that kind of aligned with their way of thinking about, is this going on in the world or not? The news was very, very respectful of what it is that they were doing, was giving out the facts of some specific event or whatever that happened to be. And if you wanted maybe one reporter's opinion about what was happening, well, you could go to the opinion pages, and then you could read that. Well, that's completely out the window now. All news right now, it's pretty straightforward. There's very, very little facts and all opinions. So, and each side is trying to provide a little bit of facts and then create a narrative, thereby giving you disinformation. Lies, again, they're everywhere. We're finding out there's all types of lies in this global health crisis that is engulf the entire world. And here in the United States, politically speaking, there's lies everywhere. The General Flynn case, perfect example. The FBI, and an absolute institution of the United States, had individuals there that were trying to get this individual to lie and thereby completely destroy his career. Now, do I necessarily care? No. My interest is what is going to buy humanity more time to become more prepared to deal with difficult times on the horizon. That's my perspective. It's not my opinion. That's where I stand on all of these issues. I could care less about the left and the right. The fighting, the whole thing, I think, is completely ridiculous, and it's a total waste of time. I listen to very, very little news. I get some news just to understand what's generally happening, but I don't deep dive on all this stuff and get into all the minutia of all these just specific cases and things that are happening. I just want to understand the broad concept of what's happening in the news, the surface level stuff, because what I always want to do is I'm always looking at a 30,000-foot view of what's happening on Earth. You know, all of this infighting, all of this political nonsense in not only our country, but all across the world is a total and complete waste of time. If you want to sit there and get into that, that's your choice, and that's what you choose to do, with your time. For me, I just want to basically ignore all of that and align with individuals that are simply trying to buy humanity more time. I feel that while I have any number of issues and problems with the current president of the United States that I do not agree with him on, one thing I do look at, as I know that God has put him in this position to buy more time. That's very, very evident from, again, looking at this 30,000-foot view. The United States is getting maybe one final opportunity to change its ways on many different issues and start to get back into God's favor again, for the purpose of buying more time. And I think this is happening again. God's hand is coming into the world and putting people and leaders into place that is going to buy humanity some more time. And using this global health crisis that we're dealing with right now, we're getting this great opportunity, although very, very difficult to deal with the true numbers of fatalities, whatever those happen to be. I believe we're being, again, misled and manipulated by what those numbers actually are. But when all this flushes out, let's just say in 6 months, a year, or 2 years from now, and we're looking back, we're going to get back to a place of normalcy. We're already starting to see here in the United States opening states back up, and people are starting to get back to some sense of what life was like before, just a couple months ago. So again, we should use this opportunity as a barometer for understanding lots of different issues. And my personal belief, and again, this is just a guess on my part, is that God is saying, use this event to get yourselves prepared for very difficult times that lie in the future. How far that is, again, I have no idea, nor does anyone else on the face of the planet. Anybody that tells you they know when, all these events are going to start happening, they simply, again, are providing disinformation. This is very, very clear in the Bible that that only God knows when this is going to happen. So again, I think lies, disinformation, all of this should be very easy for you to discern now if you just constantly keep an eye on this dimensional battle and look at what's happening in the world and all this infighting, all this stuff going on the surface level. You should be able to see it. Keep that 30,000 foot view on what's happening. Keep that as your perspective, not down here trying to understand what's actually happening. Look down from a 30,000 foot view to get a much better perspective of what we're dealing with. Okay, that's it for this video. God bless. I'll see you on the next one.